What's going on, guys? Ryan O'Toole back here again, giving you guys another movie review. If you guys are new here, feel free to click that subscribe button and that bell notification icon for more reviews, reactions, rankings, and more movie content. Finally, after a year of waiting for this movie to come out, it is finally here after it got delayed many times. It's my most anticipated movie of this year, and last year technically, and that is Dune. Directed by Denis Villeneuve, a director who continues to impress with his work, one of my favorite directors working today, and the cast of this movie, you already know who's in this movie. I'm not even going to waste your time saying who's in it. Dune 2021 tells the story of Paul Atreides, played by Timothée Chalamet, a brilliant and gifted young man born into a great destiny beyond his understanding, must travel to the most dangerous planet in the universe to ensure the future of his family and his people. As malevolent forces explode into conflict over the planet's exclusive supply of spice, the most precious resource in existence, only those who can conquer their own fear will survive. Now, as you know, Dune is based on Frank Herbert's most iconic sci-fi novel of all time. We had a 1984 adaptation from David Lynch, which was not loved by many people. I haven't seen that version yet, unfortunately, but I was very excited going into Dune for the biggest reason that it was directed by Denis Villeneuve. I mean, this director is absolutely incredible. Enemy, Prisoners, Sicario, Blade Runner 2049, An Arrival, some of the greatest films of this past decade. Just this man does not disappoint in my book. Now that I've finally seen the film, what did I think of Dune? Is it worth the hype that everybody has been hyping up about the film? Or is it overrated and people are way too praising this film? I could say Dune, everybody's right. This movie is a sci-fi epic. This is a cinematic experience only. Like, if you only viewed this on HBO Max, I think you will be very disappointed because this is made for the theatrical experience. This movie is fantastic. Definitely joins in one of Denis Villeneuve's biggest, greatest epics for sure. Definitely not my favorite film from him, but I was not disappointed by the film. The best positive for this movie is Hans Zimmer's score. It is incredible. Hans Zimmer never disappoints. After doing No Time to Die recently, this guy is just crushing 2021 with his film scores, and collaborating again with Denis after doing Blade Runner 2049. Hans Zimmer's score is epic in here. Every single character, especially Timothée Chalamet in here, when that score starts haunting in, you feel like their stakes are incredibly high because people are always being hunted. And whenever that hunting score theme just kicks in, it is just electric and just pulse pounding. Just the vibe of this movie, a mix mash of Game of Thrones, Lord of the Rings, and Star Wars. Like, the promise and hype of the story alone in this movie is very present when you're watching this epic. It is Game of Thrones with all these houses just battling each other, and you just meet House Atreides, who just leads the film pretty much. You got Timothée Chalamet as Paul Atreides, who I just think Chalamet kills it in here. You feel just the journey with his character, and you know it's definitely not over because this is a part one, and a part two will be coming for sure. And I just thought Chalamet took that challenge very well. He's fantastic performance-wise in here. But Oscar Isaac, too, as his father. Leo, that leader of House Atreides. It's Oscar Isaac. He's fantastic in here. Rebecca Ferguson added a great presence as Paul's mother. And Josh Brolin in here, too, as this military officer for this house. He was really badass. Really loved Josh Brolin's presence. But I gotta say, my favorite character out of the cast would probably have to be the character of Duncan Idaho, played by Jason Momoa, Aquaman himself. This is probably the best acting-wise I've seen from Momoa. Sweet Girl's not a great movie, but he was good in there. But I think performance-wise, Momoa crushes it in here. I loved his bromance with Timothée Chalamet in here. I think they have a great back-to-back with each other. You could see his commitment with House Atreides and just what he's seen through the wars of just the world of Arrakis, which Arrakis is just such a beautiful world. And I just think Momoa was my favorite in here. Some cool other characters, just Stellan Skarsgård as this weird looking guy he was great too. And Dave Bautista, whenever he pops up in such little roles like Denis Villeneuve's Blade Runner 2049 or Spectre, he always is very memorable, and he's very memorable in here. Javier Bardem, one of my favorite actors of all time. Even though his role is not big in this movie, he still added a great impact to the film. When you just see his character in the second and the third act, I just really love Javier Bardem's presence in here, just leading these group of people. And you also got Zendaya, hugely marketed in the trailers. Definitely did not have a big role in this movie as I expected. We're going to see more of her in part 2. I thought Zendaya just was great in here, and Zendaya's having a great year. Charlotte Rampling, pretty intimidating character. And David Dastmalchian, who you may know as Polka Dot Man from the Suicide Squad, just adding a great presence in here too. So whenever actors have small roles or big roles, they always left an impact for me. The action sequences in here are pretty epic, and they marketed the heck out of these action scenes for the modern audience that don't really know what Dune is. This feels like Star Wars and Lord of the Rings, and it's just epic. I was just highly invested in the action. It got bloody, and it got pretty brutal as well. And whenever they're just being hunted by big creatures like the sandworms. The sandworms were incredible to look at in IMAX. Some of the greatest IMAX filmmaking I have seen. But I have a feeling this movie is definitely going to leave some people going, it's cool, but I'm a little bit underwhelmed. I didn't feel that way, but I totally 100% get it. If you were one of those people who were really looking forward to this movie and you walked out like, I'm a little bit disappointed. If you're feeling sleepy, don't watch this movie because you're going to fall asleep and you're not going to get on board the fast train that this movie is presenting. I was awake. I watched the whole 2 hour and 35-minute movie. I got on the train. Denis Villeneuve was leading and riding. That's what this movie is. It requires your 100% attention. I think this movie definitely presents the world. It does what a first film should do, pretty much, is introduce the world of Arrakis, these families, these characters, and it presents this mystery. Without giving away any spoilers, the way the film ended, it definitely feels like a part oneer, and what we're going to get in a part 2, which hasn't been confirmed yet, but I'm sure it will. His direction, just what he presents in the world, in this 2 hour and 35-minute blockbuster, it really just grabbed me. And if it doesn't grab you, then that's fine. Now, as far as issues with this movie, I can't comment at all on if this is 100% or certain percent loyal to the book. I've never read the book. Now, if you have read the book, you could definitely let me know in the comments. But it definitely seems like fans are pleased with how this and the book present. But I could see people having an issue with some things from the book aren't accurate. Just small scenes in the second act. I think the second act all around is definitely the longest act. There are some sequences that aren't as interesting as scenes in the first and the third act. When it does have a slow scene, it does pick up, and I was thankful for that. But there were some key scenes in the second act I was getting kind of uninterested in, and that was kind of rare for a Denis Villeneuve film. And unfortunately, I did feel the runtime in this movie compared to other Denis Villeneuve films. Sure, Blade Runner 2049, you can kind of feel the runtime, but honestly, I didn't feel the runtime for that. I love that movie. But in here, I did kind of feel the runtime, especially going into the third act, but it wasn't awful. I wasn't dreading the runtime. I was really into this movie. And if you're not into long movies, I could see people having that issue, definitely. Before I give you guys my final overall thoughts on Dune, if this is your guys' first time checking out the channel and you enjoyed hearing my thoughts on this movie, definitely hit the like button and consider clicking that subscribe button. I do movie reviews every week, as well as ranking videos. I will be doing a ranking for all of Denis Villeneuve's films with Dune, so look forward to that ranking video. And I talk about movies a lot. If you're a movie lover, you're definitely in the right place. let's talk about movies. Dune finally is here, and it lived up to my hype. I really love the film. It is epic, it is just intense, and it has a stacked cast that really worked in the favor, and it just really is a beautiful world that we're living in. This is a must-see in the cinema, and this is what movies are made for. On my rating scale, Dune definitely gets an A+. I know you guys are gonna comment, Ryan, you already was gonna give it that grade, how dare you? No, I watched this movie like a hawk. I love the film. There you go, guys. That was my review for Dune 2021. What did you guys think of Dune? Did you love it like me? Did you think it was okay? Did you absolutely hate it? Let's talk about it in the comments. Where will Dune end up on my Denis Villeneuve ranking? You'll have to find out that very soon. Thank you guys so much for watching this review. All my social media links are in the description below. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.